My child, before you take another breath, pause. Before you try to explain, defend, or question what's happening around you, I need you to listen, not with your head, but with your spirit. Because this is not just a message, it's not just a video, this is a divine appointment. Your case is closed. Yes, that burden you've been silently carrying, that situation that feels unfinished, unsettled, unforgiven, I have sealed the file in heaven. The accusations they whispered, the guilt you've worn like skin, the fear that won't let you rest at night, I have stepped in, I have spoken, and I have shut the mouth of every voice that tried to keep you trapped. I didn't need a jury, I didn't need evidence, I needed only grace, and I gave it. You think this is just another moment, but heaven knows this is a shift, a spiritual shift, one you can't ignore. I brought you here so you would hear me clearly. I'm not negotiating your future with your past. I'm not consulting your critics before blessing you. If this message has found its way to you, it means I'm ready to settle what you've been suffering through. So right now, I ask you to do something bold. Go to the comment section and write these words. God, I trust you with what I don't understand. Declare it. Type it like your freedom depends on it, because it does. You see, when you release what you don't understand, you make room for me to reveal what you couldn't imagine. And by the time this message ends, that tightness in your chest, that weight in your soul, that fear that keeps cycling in your thoughts, it will lose its power, because I'm lifting it now. I'm replacing it with something greater. You're not here by mistake. This is a divine call to your spirit, a whisper from heaven saying the case is closed and your future is free. Stay with me. There's more to reveal. The case you thought was still open. You've been carrying a weight that no one else sees. You've smiled in public but cried in secret. You've done your best to move forward, but something inside still whispers, you're not free yet. It feels like the court of heaven is still in session, like the gavel hasn't dropped on your situation. You wake up and wonder if the consequence will come today. You go to sleep unsure if you're truly forgiven. You walk through life wondering if maybe, just maybe, God is still holding it against you. You've replayed the mistake over and over. You've asked yourself what you could have done differently. You've tried to explain it away. But the truth is, your heart hasn't been able to rest. Not because I haven't spoken, but because you didn't realize I already ruled. And here's what I want you to understand today. I don't waste time reopening cases I've already judged. I don't revisit sin I've already forgiven. I don't relive wounds I've already healed. What they keep bringing up, I've already let go. What the enemy keeps accusing you of, I've already wiped clean. That thing you can't stop thinking about, that regret you buried deep but never stopped hearing in your thoughts, that moment, that decision, that failure you swore defined you, I've already addressed it. I've already closed it. I've already moved on. I don't sit in heaven with a long list of your faults. I sit in mercy. I sit in compassion. And when I saw your brokenness, I didn't call for judgment. I called for restoration. Yes, it happened, but it no longer holds power. Because when I forgive, I don't do it halfway. When I heal, I don't leave a scar to remind you of shame. I leave a testimony to remind you of grace. I want you to hear this as clearly as possible. You are not on trial anymore. Stop waiting for the punishment. Stop expecting the collapse. Stop preparing for a judgment I never planned to send. That thing you think I'm still watching? I've already buried it in my mercy. As far as the east is from the west, so far have I removed your transgressions from you. Psalm 103 verse 12. So why are you still walking like you're under review? Why are you still trying to earn forgiveness I gave freely? It's over. The guilt, the shame, the fear. I need you to receive what your soul has been craving: peace, closure, and the freedom to breathe again. You've been living like the case is still open, but I'm telling you now, I already ruled in your favor. Why the case was closed. Let me tell you why I closed the case. Not because you performed well, not because you said all the right things, not because time made it fade. I didn't wait for you to be perfect. I didn't look for flawless behavior. I looked at the weight of my love, and I let grace outrule guilt. Yes, the evidence was there. Heaven saw it all. The tears you cried when no one noticed. The wrong turns, the broken promises, the things you said you'd never do, but did. I saw the guilt that made you think you were no longer worthy. I saw how you tried to fix yourself before coming to me. But what you didn't realize is this: I already made the decision before you even asked for mercy. The case was closed the moment the blood covered it. That cross wasn't just a symbol. It was a divine exchange. Everything that could have condemned you was nailed there. Everything that could have destroyed you was silenced there. I didn't turn my eyes away from your pain. I turned it into a plan. And the plan was this: redemption, not punishment. Healing, not humiliation. Freedom, not fear. The reason the case is closed is because your past doesn't have the authority to cancel your future. I have written a story that can't be erased by your worst chapter. You don't owe shame another moment of your peace. You don't owe guilt your tears anymore. You don't have to keep rehearsing your failures in your mind. The price was paid, not by your works, but by my sacrifice. You may still remember what happened, but I don't hold it against you. I don't carry the list. Because love keeps no record of wrongs. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, Romans 8:1. So when you ask, why would you still love me? I answer, because you are mine. And nothing you've done and nothing you've gone through can make me change my mind about you. I close the case because your calling is too great to be stuck in the courtroom of shame. I closed it because your destiny is still unfolding and nothing from your yesterday can stop what I'm about to do next. So breathe, let go, move forward. Your case is closed and your future is wide open. The enemy's appeal has been denied. The enemy has been busy, trying to drag up what I've already buried. He's been whispering lies in your quiet moments, bringing up your past when you're trying to move forward. He knows he can't undo what I've already done, so he tries to make you question it. He points at your mistakes. He reminds you of your failures. He tries to tie your identity to your history. He stands at the edge of your breakthrough, waving evidence from the past, hoping you'll forget that I've already rendered my verdict. But what he doesn't realize is this: the case is no longer open, and his appeal has been denied. I stood in the courtroom of heaven, and when he tried to object, when he tried to accuse, when he tried to reopen what I sealed with my blood, I rose and declared a word that shook the gates of hell, overruled. No matter what the enemy brings up, my word stands. No matter what the past screams, my voice is louder. You are not on trial. You're not waiting for judgment. You're not standing in front of me hoping I'll accept you. You're walking in the direction I've already blessed. You're moving forward with a name I've already redeemed. You're living in a purpose the enemy can't erase. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, Romans 8:1. That means no more shame, no more self-blame, no more second-guessing my grace. When I say free, I mean it. When I say forgiven, I stamp it permanently. When I say chosen, I'm not asking for opinions. The enemy was dismissed from the courtroom. His voice no longer has access to your mind. His arguments hold no weight. His bitterness cannot block your blessing. So when he comes again with all his old tactics, trying to replay the same old memories, you don't need to argue. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to revisit the past. Just say one word with faith: overruled. Because I already lifted the sentence, I already removed the penalty, and I already set you free. This is your release notice, not just from what you did, but from the shame that tried to follow you after. Do not return to a prison I've already unlocked. Don't let guilt drag you back into chains I already broke. Don't allow the enemy to convince you that grace isn't strong enough. Walk in what I've spoken, live in what I've declared, and know this with all your heart: his appeal has been denied, your case is closed, and your story is still unfolding. What you misunderstood about delay. My child, I know what you've been thinking. You believe that because I was quiet, I was disappointed. Because things didn't happen quickly, you assumed I was angry. Because the answer didn't come when you expected, you wondered if I was still listening. But let me tell you the truth with love. My silence was never punishment. My timing was never neglect. And my delay was not rejection. You see, while you were asking, I was arranging. While you were waiting, I was weaving together something greater than you imagined. The delay you feared was judgment, was actually protection. I was keeping you from doors that looked good, but led to destruction. I was holding back things that you thought were blessings, but would have broken you in ways you couldn't see yet. You asked me for clarity, but I was working in mystery. Because sometimes, it's not about seeing every step. It's about trusting the one who's ordering them. You wanted a quick answer, but I was building deep roots. I wasn't just preparing the blessing, I was preparing you to carry it. You assumed I was taking too long, but I was being intentional. Because what I'm doing in you is eternal, not temporary. This wasn't a season of guilt. This wasn't a punishment for what you did. This was a season of growth. I've been pruning you, shaping you, stretching your faith, teaching your heart how to rest in me, even when everything around you feels uncertain. I let certain people walk away. I let some doors stay shut. I let time pass longer than you wanted. Not to punish you, but to position you. Because where I'm taking you, you can't carry fear. You can't carry the approval of others. You can't depend on what feels comfortable. So I had to delay the breakthrough to build the character. I had to pause the dream to increase your dependence on me. I had to let you feel the silence so you'd lean into my whisper. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. My child, listen. The wait was not wasted. The quiet didn't mean I forgot you. It meant I was nearer than you thought, shaping the miracle behind the scenes. You didn't miss your moment. You're not too late. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. So the next time the enemy tells you God is silent because you failed, I want you to remember this. I wasn't silent out of anger. I was silent because I was working. Now the time has come. What was delayed is about to be delivered. What you thought was lost is about to return. Stronger, fuller, and right on time. The miracle that followed my judgment. My child, you didn't just walk out of that courtroom in heaven with mercy. You walked out with favor stamped on your name. Because I am not a God who only cancels punishment. I release purpose. I restore what was lost. I revive what was dying. I don't just set people free from their past. I launch them into a future that eyes have not seen. You didn't just escape the sentence. You stepped into a divine shift. You're not just a survivor of your pain. You're a carrier of my promise. That relationship that crumbled in your hands? I saw the tears. I heard the cries you couldn't voice. I felt the ache that no one else noticed. And I want you to know I'm rebuilding it. But not the same way. Not with the same cracks. Not with the same people even. I'm rebuilding it with healing at the foundation. With truth at the center. With peace in the walls. You thought that opportunity was gone forever. You assumed it slipped through your fingers because of timing or mistakes or mischances. But I've been holding it all along. Not to punish you, but to protect it until you were ready to carry it well. There's a reason the door didn't open when you knocked. It wasn't locked to reject you. It was locked to preserve something sacred. And now, I hold the key, and I'm unlocking it in my perfect time. That trauma, that pain so deep you stopped talking about it, that moment that almost broke you, I saw it. I never ignored it. I never forgot it. I collected every tear. I carried every weight. And now I'm turning it into a testimony that will heal others. What almost ended you is about to be the very thing I use to bless you. You've gone through fires that would have consumed others, but you came out with wisdom, not smoke. With faith, not bitterness. With strength, not shame. You're not just surviving anymore. You're stepping into supernatural supply. And this supply, it's not just material. It's not just about income or resources. It's about peace that overflows. Joy that sustains you in every season. Favor that goes ahead of you. Connections you didn't see coming. Doors you didn't knock on. Opportunities you never applied for, but I wrote your name on anyway. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. Do you feel it, child? This isn't just a better version of what you lost. This is a new thing. Something fresh, something sacred, something heaven-breathed. I didn't just restore what the enemy tried to destroy, I upgraded it. I transformed it. I wrapped it in grace and poured my glory over it. So don't call it a comeback. Call it a resurrection. Because what you thought was dead, I've brought back to life. And what you thought was buried was only being planted so it could bloom in my perfect season. You didn't just walk out of judgment. You walked into a miracle. The kind that makes people stop and ask, how did they make it through that? The kind that makes your past enemies say, there must be something different on their life. The kind that makes your soul whisper, only God. This is what follows my judgment. Not fear, not shame, but a future full of light, favor, and fresh oil. So walk forward now, not in fear, but in confidence. Not in sorrow, but in celebration. Because the miracle has already begun. Your identity is not on trial. Let me say this as clearly as possible. Your identity is not on trial. Not in heaven, not in my heart, not in the eyes of the one who created you. You've let the voices of others define who you are for too long. You've allowed opinions, failures, and rejections to draw lines around your worth. They called you names, they labeled you by your lowest moment, they tried to attach your value to your worst season. But I never joined that conversation. I never agreed with those lies. Because your value was never up for debate. People judged what they could see, but I looked at what they couldn't. I saw your heart even when it was broken. I saw your effort even when you fell short. I saw your intention even when your actions missed the mark. Yes, they walked away. Yes, they misunderstood. Yes, even you judged yourself. You questioned your worth. You believed the lie that maybe you weren't enough. You repeated words over your life that I never said. But I never changed my mind about you. I called you loved. And that didn't stop when you made a mistake. I called you mine, and that didn't change when you got lost. I called you chosen, and I meant it even when you didn't feel qualified. Let me make it even clearer. You are not guilty. You are not defined by that one mistake. You are not measured by that failure. You are not held hostage by your past. You are not behind. Not in my timing, not in your destiny. You are right where I need you to be, so I can shape you, grow you, and send you. You are not too late. I don't operate on the world's clock. I am not bound by deadlines. You are still in my plan, still covered by my promise, still standing in the middle of my grace. Let this sink in deep, child. You are chosen, not randomly, not as a backup plan, but with purpose, on purpose. You are covered by my love, by my mercy, by the blood that speaks louder than your mistakes. You are called to rise, to walk forward, to live boldly in the truth of who I say you are. You've spent too long trying to prove yourself, too long trying to earn worth in places that never had the power to give it, too long looking for affirmation in empty hands. But today, I need you to understand, you are already approved. I stamped your name with favor before they ever questioned you. I spoke identity over you before they ever tried to tear you down. Don't you know? You are my workmanship, my masterpiece, my vessel. And no mistake, no loss, no rejection can ever take that away. Stop letting people who don't know your journey tell you what you're worth. Stop shrinking because someone else couldn't see your value. Stop rehearsing lies in your mind that I never planted there. You are not your failure. You are not your trauma. You are not the label they gave you. You are loved. You are whole. You are enough because I said so. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders, and step into the truth. Your identity is safe in me. Your name is still honored in heaven. Your case is closed because your identity was never on trial. The divine peace that follows a closed case. What you need now is not another explanation, not another opinion, not another thought running circles in your mind. You need peace, true peace, not the kind that depends on everything being perfect. Not the kind that comes and goes depending on who accepts you. But the kind of peace that settles deep in your spirit, even when the world outside still looks noisy. You've done enough thinking, enough overanalyzing, enough looking backward. You've asked yourself the same question 100 different ways. What if I had done it differently? Why didn't I see it coming? Will this mistake follow me forever? But now, I want you to rest. Not just rest your body, rest your soul. Because when I closed your case, I didn't just release you from judgment. I released you into peace. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. You don't have to prove anything to people who never saw the full picture. You don't need to explain why you changed, why you pulled back, why you had to heal in silence. That season of defending yourself is over. This is the season of divine peace. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives do I give to you. John 14:27. The world gives peace with conditions, when you're successful, when you're accepted, when everything looks good. But I give peace when everything feels uncertain. Because my peace isn't weak, it's a shield, it's a covering, it's an anchor. Tonight, you don't need to replay that mistake in your mind. Lay it down. Tonight, you don't need to stay up wondering how others see you. What I say about you is final. Tonight, you don't have to worry about what's next, because I've already gone before you. Sleep knowing you're safe. Sleep knowing I've ruled in your favor. Sleep knowing nothing you've done can separate you from my love. And when you wake up, walk. Walk with confidence. Walk with joy. Walk with the peace of someone who knows they've been cleared, covered, and completely loved. Let your footsteps be light. Let your words carry grace, not fear. Let your heart be unafraid. Because your freedom is not fragile, it's divinely secured. Don't let insecurity rob you of what I've already restored. Don't let the past rewrite your present. Don't let fear plant seeds in soil I've already blessed. This peace I give you, it won't break, it won't fade, it won't fail. You don't have to hold your breath waiting for something to go wrong. You don't have to wait for someone to change their mind about you. You don't have to live in hiding anymore. Your case is closed, heaven has spoken, and peace is now your portion. So go on and live, not afraid but aware that you are walking under a verdict of grace, shielded by divine protection, and filled with a peace this world can never take away. Don't ignore this. If you leave this message and go back to worrying, if you finish watching and return to your fear, if you walk away and still carry what I told you to lay down, then you've missed the purpose of why I brought you here. This wasn't just a message to make you feel better. It wasn't just comfort for a hard day. This was confirmation. Confirmation of what I've already been whispering to your heart. Confirmation of what you've prayed to understand. Confirmation that your case is not open, it is closed. I didn't bring you here for entertainment. I brought you here for alignment. To pull your soul back into agreement with my word. To break the lies that have lived too long in your mind. To silence the guilt that has stolen too much of your joy. Your case is closed. That means your past no longer has power. That means your shame no longer gets a seat at your table. That means the voices of doubt, fear, and regret have been silenced by my authority. So don't speak like you're still on trial. Don't act like the verdict is still uncertain. Don't let your thoughts rehearse what I've already resolved. Stop apologizing for what I've already forgiven. Stop hiding what I've already healed. Stop doubting what I've already decided. I know it's hard to believe. I know part of you still wants to hold on to the guilt because guilt can feel familiar. But familiarity is not the same as freedom. And I came to give you freedom. This is your turning point. Not a temporary moment, not an emotional lift, but a deep divine shift. Right now, heaven is bearing witness. This isn't a coincidence. This is not just another video in your feed. This is a word from your Father. A Father who has watched you carry too much. A Father who has heard your silent cries. A Father who is tired of watching you live beneath your promise. A Father who is reaching through this very screen to tell you, I love you beyond logic. You don't have to understand why I chose to forgive you. You don't have to earn what I freely gave. You only need to receive it. Don't let this moment pass you by. Don't let this truth slip away with tomorrow's distractions. Let it sink deep. Let it break the chains. Let it renew your mind. Your case is closed. You are free. You are loved. You are mine. And now, walk in it. Heavenly Father, we thank you for divine justice, for grace that silences the accuser. Thank you for closing the case that tormented us for years. We surrender the weight of shame. We release the burden of guilt. We walk in the authority of your verdict. Free, forgiven, favored. Cover this child with peace, boldness, and direction. May they never again look back at what you've already healed. Bless them as they walk forward, with the confidence of someone heaven has already defended. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.